Hello.
Hey guys.
Wait, is this on?
I hear you.
How's everyone doing this evening? It's been quite some time since we've talked to a lot of you.
Mike.
Oh boy, are we really in February already?
How did that happen?
I don't know, Shannon. Care to explain?
Well,
because I don't.
I was going to say the Earth rotates at such and such.
Yeah,
I'm not Carl. I don't know the story.
Well, how efficiently does a square flat Earth rotate? Let's start there.
Let's start with
we want to appeal to all crowds. So we will talk.
Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. So I hope everyone's doing well this evening. Happy to see everyone back, and we are back, of course, for another 4 weeks of fun. You know how that is. And then, by the time the 4 weeks is up and we have our next bye week, you guys will be tired of us. So the timing works out perfectly. All right. Well, I want to take a moment just to kind of do a little bit of a roll call on who we have in stream. Of course, we're going to start it out with Mr. Michael Kittle, Rare Coins in the house. Brian Hooper, who just adamantly says he's second, LOL. So we'll take him at his word. We got Crispy Mofo and B Hill, HIL. I hope I pronounced that correctly. We got Bill, 457. Eric, hey, welcome. We have a certain relative of a certain panel member who is certainly not in her chair right now. So she's here as well. LNW show. Spiked head die crack. Something about sandwiches in the green room. Wait, we have a green room? I don't remember that. She's like, you didn't know?
I like the mullet.
All right. Hey, Cindy's here. So she's one of our admin for tonight. So be on your best behavior. Sure, she will layeth down to smacketh down to all people who do not behave. Patrick Pemberton in the house. Reap what you sow. I do every day. Mallyman 24. Hear him. How you doing, man?
Simon. What's
Eric.
up?
Matthew Valley.
Mr. Shield Fat.
Yeah, Mr. Shield. We all call him the Shield Maker now. The Shield Talker about her.
That's right.
Shield Whisperer.
Yeah, the Shield Whisperer. Way better than my choices, by the way. Joey K, Mark Coins. We have Griffey in the house. I like you better on the Mariners than the Reds, by the way. Buckeye Chuck, Ahmed Nixon, Orgulo. Wait, isn't it too late in New York City for you to be up? Should be in your sponge bath mode.
It is pretty late.
Yeah, hey, 8:30. It's about the time I go to bed. John Pierce, Natty Stacken, Wendy, Chris McQuaig. Man, we have everybody all up in the house. Kashea Crow, she's a new name. David Carlizzle. Oh, Shannon Smith, he's in there too. He's really in here. MG, Stonecutter, Chris again, Farm Dogs, Stefan Ward. Someone I can't pronounce. But hey, welcome. Scott Holiday. Good evening. Mr. Eubanks and Amy Maud.
Wow. What a crew.
That is a crew.
Thank you guys for coming to see us. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Hey, we have some good news. With one of our viewers actually had a pretty big issue. She actually talked with Jeff Stanley, who may or may not be on tonight. However, a new collector fell victim to a little bit of shenanigans on what was it, Mercari, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So someone advertised the 1955 doubled die obverse Lincoln cent for, I believe it was $250. Now, the first red flag is that's way too cheap.
Too
Wait,
good to be
Paula?
true. Probably
Right,
is.
Paula?
Yeah,
I know that's how much you didn't spend for yours.
that was not how much I spent for mine. No.
Yeah, that is slightly under the market. So, anyways, our viewer ended up taking a flyer on the coin, bought the coin for $250, and she received it, and it looked a little bit funny, but she consulted with us to get a little bit of information on what she had, and sure enough, it was a pretty horrible counterfeit. You could see this thing a mile away. So she did she attempt to reach the seller to try
I
and get a
actually think that she put it up on eBay before she knew it was not real, and then found out it was not real.
The seller deleted the listing and everything. They got off of there after they sold it.
Okay.
And
So
the seller on
eBay didn't nerf the listing because people knew it was fake.
eBay did.
eBay,
So what happened?
Oh,
She bought
eBay
it from
nerfed
Mercari.
it. Okay.
yeah,
and-
Mercari didn't.
Right. Yeah, Mercari doesn't have those safeguards on collectibles. All right. So to make a long story short, our viewer did have a little bit of recourse, but it was very time sensitive. We ended up telling her, hey, you really have to go to a coin shop and get a written statement saying that coin is fake, because that's the only way that Mercari on Mercari's end would be able to refund her off of this thing. So she ended up going to a coin shop, getting a written statement on their letterhead and all that fun stuff, submitted it to Mercari, and she got her refund.
Yeah.
So, yeah, normally I personally would never buy coins off of Mercari. You know, it's just based on principle, because they're not the right type of retailer for such a thing. And you
Or
know,
Etsy.
yeah, that's
Any of
right.
those. Yeah.
It's like buying a burger at an Italian restaurant. I mean, you know, it's like it's weird. So, anyways, to make a long story short, good news. She learned her lesson and she got her money back. So,
Yeah.
anyways, well,
Thank goodness.
But what a
Yeah.
pain.
that was a huge victory. I think Jeff felt really good about it too, because it was a victory for him, because he was able to kind of calm her down. Yeah, $250 doesn't seem like a lot of money, but to her, it was probably a pretty good, decent amount. And Jeff helped her along in the process, helped her find a coin shop nearby. It was actually pretty close to where I am. Not necessarily, it's, you know, Central California, down in the Valley area. So, yeah, all was not lost. But, you know, buyer beware out there.
Yeah.
Mercari,
Yeah.
they don't have the kind of safeguards to protect you in the event that you buy a counterfeit something. You know, it could even be like a purse, you know, high-end Louis Vuitton or something. They just don't have it.
Well,
But-
you know, these big varieties are well documented. You can go to a number of different places and learn what the pickup points are for a 55 double die or a 69S, and you can find this information pretty freely. You know, Wexler's a great site, talks about all the pickup points, and you've got to make sure those things are there. 99 times out of 100, if you pass up that deal that's too good to be true, you'll probably be thanking yourself later.
Yeah.
You know, we do cherry pick things. We do find some cool stuff and make some money on eBay, but we're also validating and verifying it before we buy it as much as possible. There's the occasional risk in gambling. You know, the picture's a little bit fuzzy, but it certainly has a couple of points on it, and we buy it. You know, and so just be careful. You can lose a lot of money pretty quick in this hobby if you're not.
Yeah, it could be something as innocent as maybe what Adam went through with a certain dealer on eBay picking up a coin that obviously wasn't as advertised. So, and Adam is incredibly knowledgeable. He's been in the hobby for quite some time, and it's one of those things that can happen, and sometimes it's not his fault and all that. Again, there are shenanigans going on all over the community, and we just need to kind of rally together and use each other for support. The same way that our viewer reached out to us to take care of this in such perfect timing. If she would have waited too much more longer, she wouldn't be able to get that refund. I forgot how many days she had, but
She had 2 days left.
2 days left. So
Nice.
And
Yeah.
so with eBay, you have 45. No, it's 30 days. It's not 45 anymore. It's only 30 days on eBay now. So
on eBay, yeah, they cut it down for a lot of collectibles. I know with sports cards, they cut it down quite a bit.
Yeah. Pokemon,
because people were buying the cards. You could say the same thing about coins. They were buying the cards, sending them off to PSA or BGS grading services, and have it come back. If it's not the grade that they want, they'll crack it out of the slab and file a return. And sometimes that's like 45 to 60 days, but eBay has decided on this type of items that we're going to cut it down to like 10 days. So it doesn't give people the opportunity to pull crap like that to the sellers. So, coins, same way. People buy coins so that way they can grade them, turn around, flip them, make a few bucks in the process. And if things don't go the way it's planned, then, you could always file that return. But yeah, it's just nature of the beast, especially if you sell on eBay, if you sell anywhere online, that's kind of the thing that you have to contend with. More so these days than you did 10 years ago. So
the other thing I think too was maybe if she had paid through like PayPal or something that was secure like that. Didn't she say that she used a debit card or it was a credit card? I don't remember.
if it's a credit card, usually sometimes you're protected, because that's why, like, if you go to a gas pump, use your credit card versus using your debit card,
Right.
because you're more protected.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, chair dancing.
We're just we're mixing it up.
I was wondering why you guys are laughing. It's all like
Cindy,
Like-
get down. We were just waiting on Paula. That's all, and she's muted.
Of course,
and
yeah,
talking.
yeah.
Unmute Paula.
Well, sorry, I had to go get napkins so I could eat a piece of pizza when we're not on screen.
Pizza Mondays.
It's
All by
always
Taco Tuesdays.
It's
Doesn't
mine
get
and
better.
Sean's dinner time every time we go live. It's always our dinner time.
Yeah, same here. Well,
Yeah.
mine's in about half an hour. So
Aw.
if you see the screen go black, you know what that means.
Don't be
So.
shy.
But we have a heck of a lineup of coins. I figure we go ahead and jump right in and not waste any more time. What do you guys say?
Let's do it. There's
Yeah.
a lot of cool stuff. A lot of cool stuff.
A lot of cool stuff.
Start
Yeah.
dancing on screen.
Oh, we're still going to be on screen. Oh, well.
Yeah, Spiked Head Die Crack. Do not eat the brownies in the green room. Those are not for you, sir.
No, they're for Papa Giorgio.
No.
So those are our normal announcements. Everybody join the ANA, our National Coin Club. If you collect coins, you can be a member. Koneka. Great place to send your coins if you need anything attributed or examined. If you need a coin examined in hand, they have great people over there. It's a great thing to join also. And our Q&A Facebook group, our coin Q&A. It's I'm telling you, if you have Facebook, utilize that before sending us an email. because you will get your questions answered faster there. We already have a full email inbox, and we just went live. So if you can use the Facebook group, I encourage you to do it. Just answer all of the questions, the membership questions, and agree the rules. There's no right or wrong answer. Just answer them and agree the rules. That's all I would say.
EMR also asked who was going to the Grove show. And
Me.
I don't think that's been finalized, but we know of a few of us that will be.
And then I'm trying to drag that one up there at the top.
And that one up there.
And the one above Shannon, we're trying to drag them along.
And maybe if
I'm
Amanda
going.
wants to come, that would be cool, but she's got things on her plate.
Amanda, yeah, I don't think she'd be able to go, but it would be amazing if she could.
But there'll be at least 3 or 4 of us there.
Yep.
Is Blues gonna go?
Yeah, is Eric?
I don't know if Eric's going or not.
He lives in Oklahoma.
I know. Yeah, I know. I think he missed it last year too. I don't think he was able to go last year. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't think he was.
I can message him and see.
He's in the chat.
He's in the chat.
Oh, he is? Oh, there he is.
Yeah,
I'm not looking at the chat.
Grove, Oklahoma. Eric.
He just got his renewal notice. What show? Yeah, Grove, Oklahoma, May 11th through the 14th, but really it's 12 through 14.
12, 13, 14. Yeah.
We're going to be putting out a video pretty soon. So lots and lots of YouTubers going. It's going to be a big thing. So, yeah. All right. We ready to look at coins now?
Let's do it.
I quit farting around here. I'm going to hide my camera because I need to eat. Okay.
And
I'll read this one from J. Daniel. 1944 P War Nickel Ddr. Hello, I picked this coin up at an antique store last year for $8. I have identified this as being DDR 4R VI on Variety Vista. It shows a die clash in front of the chin and behind the bow, die crack in the hairline, die gouge above the right window, and also above the second window from the left. Sounds interesting.
Sorry, there was a second part to that email, but that's okay.
Oh, was there?
Yeah, that's okay.
All right. I didn't even see that because it's like the same amount of sentences in there. Fortunately, I think this is an early die state. To me, some of the devices almost appear to be tripled. NGC doesn't list this as an attributed variety through them, nor does PCGS. I was curious as to why this wouldn't be worthy of grading. Saturation or desire, I guess. I would love to hear your thoughts on this coin. All right, so. Whew. All right. Hey, it's a good looking coin. Shoot, for $8.
Yeah, the luster's blinding me.
Sure. Heard it.
It's a little bit of a luster bomb.
Yeah, I'm pretty clean.
Yeah. All right, so here's some peripheral devices here, starting with E pluribus unum. Yeah, I do see a little bit of thickness there, especially at the foot of the N.
Definitely.
Top of the U's.
Yeah, on the I also.
Ours got splits.
I'm kind of surprised they're calling this a class 6. It looks more like a class 2 to me.
Yeah, I did notice that too, Shay. I wonder what else they're seeing for them to peg this one as a class 6. I don't know. There's 5 cents.
Check that F out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got some notches. But again, it's class 2. Was that the proper designation for this one? One provided?
I think Jeff looked at this one since he does most of the nickel, checking on the nickels. But I think that he had said that it was what he had said it was. So we'll have to assume at this point.
Well, some of the attributors may only put one class when there's multiple, but that's possible too. Maybe there's some class 6 on month instead of.
Was that Wexler that did this, or was this?
I think that was a Kaneka designation on that one.
Okay.
Well, he said he got the attribution off of Variety Vista.
Okay. He said it's number 3 or number 4. Is that what he said?
Let's see.
4R.
4.
Yeah, 4R VI.
Looks good to me. I'm going off the photos that's on Variety Vista. Yeah, it looks good.
So while we're talking about that, just because it sounds kind of confusing, but like say you send your coins to be attributed by Kaneka, it's going to show up on Variety Vista, right? It's not going to, because the Kaneka website doesn't have its own place where they put their attributions and stuff. It goes into Variety Vista, right?
Well, Dr. James Wiles, I guess he had agreed to display the images, and I think there was some sort of agreement that concluded, and the Kaneka master listings that were on his website are no longer there. Yeah, and he suspended his attribution service, but Kaneka does have those master lists, but I'm kind of waiting to see them become available and published again if they haven't been already.
Because they don't have a place that's displayed though, right? Other than what would be on Variety Vista.
Yeah, I haven't checked Kaneka.org to see if they have posted those yet, but it would be good to keep an eye on and see what they come up with.
I mean, I'm kind of new to the Kaneka family because I just got my packet in, but I was trying to go through and look and see if they had some of it set up, and I couldn't find it, but I don't know 100% how to navigate that site yet. So
the real interesting thing, right, is that a lot of those Kaneka listings originally came from Wexler, so the Wexler files.
Could we look at the memorial building? There's some die markers I wanted to check.
Let's see. Here's slide number 8 right there, and that's it. So the best we can do for you is going to be this image right here.
Okay, can we zoom in on the right side of the memorial? Is that possible?
If you squint real hard.
I kind of see it actually above the window. On the right side, the second window, there's a little curvature die mark. I can actually see it from here.
Yeah,
so,
you can actually see a.
Yeah, it's definitely DDR number 4. So it's a match.
Oh, Sean.
Yeah, I saw it. I see it. Hey, Thomas, I just sent it out yesterday, so I dropped it in the mail. You should see it in a few days. Sorry about that.
I can tell you what happens sometimes, Thomas. So we each have folders in the email, and sometimes when emails get dropped into one of the guys' folders, other emails get pushed down, and sometimes they get missed. So I'm sure that's what happened. I probably put a few emails into Sean's folder, and so your email with your address and everything, the information got pushed down. So that's probably what happened.
And guess who gets the most addressed to them?
Well,
It's not the new guy.
God,
So
yeah.
The new guy, Shannon.
it's not the new guy. No, it's the big guy with the big folder. He's got a lot of stuff in.
I'll get on. Yeah. I need to be better at cracking the whip, I think.
Can I answer a question on this email? When they ask about why it's not attributed, you can certainly grade it if you want it for your own collection and you want to preserve it in some instance. You could send it to Annex. They're the only one that's going to attribute this variety, though.
Mhm.
But as far as I get that question a lot in the emails is about, oh, should I grade it? Should I go ahead and grade it? Why don't they recognize this variety? A lot of it's because there's so many that they just can't all these grading companies can't recognize. Now Annex does, but that's really what they kind of specialize in. They don't, PCGS and NGC are more
Cherry
picky, and they like the FS listed varieties. NGC kind of does their own little thing with the Variety Plus, but that's how it goes. So
Yeah, I think through it all, Adam, they consider this to be minor, even though it looks pretty nice.
Nice.
But again, with all the myriad of different listings, let's not even get to RPMs of these wartime silver
Oh my goodness.
nickels. There's a ton of them.
there's some that are like 70, 80 of them. I think is it the 43 Philly or something? I can't
43
remember.
Philly,
Or 44 Philly, maybe. I can't remember as well. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah, between 43, 44, and 45, there's quite a few of them.
Some of them are really nice too. I mean, you're like, why is this not listed? But it's just because there's so many. They can't list them all.
Yeah, Frank, I would take minor all day long. I think this looks pretty cool. I like it, and it in conjunction with the overall grade of the coin, I do like it. And I probably wouldn't mind just sending this to Annex. I mean, what's the end game in all this? To sell it? If that were the case, don't grade it at all. Just sell it like it is with these fantastic close-ups, and that's all you'll need. It's not like we're talking about a 45p DDR, which is in the Cherry Picker's Guide. That one's pretty unmistakable. If you have a high-grade specimen of that with full steps, I would probably entertain sending it to PCGS or
talking big dollars there for sure on that one.
Yeah.
Hi, Dodger. Dodger.
Dodger in the hose.
What's our next one?
That's it. That's all. No, I'm just kidding.
Good night. Bye. I can read this one. I just finished eating some pizza. $100 bill. What the heck is this? From 48 State Prospecting. Hello, panel. First off, thank you for everything you do for the community. You're welcome. Thank you. Second, I thought I would share this so people can keep an eye out and not lose out when a bank confiscates a bill of this type. It obviously passed the pen test, but the counting machine flagged it as counterfeit. Notice the drawn-on watermark on the reverse as well as the plastic strip. This kind of fits in good with our 55 double die counterfeit, right?
This made me laugh.
Yeah, this is kind of comical, you guys. But listen, these things are out there.
They are out there, and another thing to keep in mind, there are a boatload of new collectors coming into numismatics pretty much on a yearly basis. Yearly, monthly, it's a growing hobby for sure. So,
but who would look at this and just go, "Yep, counterfeit"? No, I wouldn't. I'd be like, "Okay, how come this slot machine's not taking this $100 bill?" That's what I would say. Just kidding. I don't do that.
And isn't that one of those marks from one of those pins on the side there? And
There's your watermark.
Oh my god! Was that Sacagawea?
No, that looks like Elmer G. Fudd.
That man right here.
Yeah, that's funny. I mean,
Wow.
you know, if you look at the watermark on 100, you know, because I know you're all sporting hundreds in that wallet of yours, so just pull it out and take a look at that up to the light of your computer screen and take a look at old Ben's watermark, and then take a look at that because that's funny.
That's right.
Well, one thing you got to know about a watermark is it's not going to be apparent unless you put it up to the light. The fact that this is sitting on a countertop with no light passing through it, I mean, that's a pretty big red flag if you tell me.
That's true.
I really like that countertop, though. Just saying. Anyway.
And furthermore, this is
Roseanne. It could be Roseanne.
I just noticed this is a non-colorized Big Head 100. I don't think they have that watermark in them. That's only until you get into the colorized.
They have the watermark, but they don't have the strip, right?
This one's got a strip too, though, doesn't it? On the right
Well,
hand side.
it's got the embedded strip that has $100 on there. I could see that, but it doesn't have that big fat magnetic strip that's on the front of them like they do on the colorized.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, but they're out there. Keep an eye out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think someone used an oil-based marker of some sort or pen to draw that on there, and that's how you're going to replicate, you know, a watermark. Anything. That thing's
the old 100, Papa Giorgio. And yeah, I know it has a watermark for sure.
I think this is the same 100 that Wile E. Coyote used to buy the stuff at the Acme factory.
That giant rocket.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's hysterical.
Yeah, but anyways, guys, don't fall for stuff like that. Yeah. So another thing to keep in mind, when you use the counterfeit pens that you could buy at the store, when you write on them, they are for a legitimate real note. They are supposed to be kind of like that tannish yellow like you see on this note.
Mm-hmm.
But on a different paper, it's going to turn like a dark brown. So, you know, that's why you would use something like that. So what probably happened here, and this is just a guess, is whoever had this note probably, I don't know, this is just pure speculation, but they probably washed all the ink off of like a $20 bill and then reprinted over that paper. So that way the paper is real, the printing is not. I could tell right away that green 100 on the bottom right-hand corner is supposed to be just slightly embossed with a green metallic ink is what they used. That was actually one of their big anti-counterfeit features on the new large note or the new big head notes. BH Customs.
Thank you,
Trying to collect all the stickers for your album. Thank you, Bub. Appreciate it, brother.
Did you guys see the story about the Home Depot guy that worked at the in the cash office at the Home Depot, and he was swapping out counterfeit money and taking the real money home?
No,
I've never heard of that before.
He got over like $300 and some $1,000 out of it because he essentially was printing his counterfeit money and then taking it into the cash office and swapping it out with real money and taking it home, and they eventually caught him.
wow,
That's crazy.
I guess he should have stopped at $250K. He went to the well once too often.
He was too greedy.
That, oh my gosh, my grandson.
That's hilarious. It looks like somebody drew it. Like it looks like somebody in art class drew it. Like it's just God, it's horrible.
Crazy. Dirt.
What a maroon.
It's like that 55 fake double die where Lincoln's grinning the whole
I know
time.
he's off.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? You know what would have been entertaining is if that lady had paid for that coin using a couple fake bills.
Right.
That'd be awesome. The irony of the whole thing would just be
Oh
awesome.
my God. Don't
But hey,
encourage
we do not promote such things.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
it. Someone do it.
I'll read. Oh, you want to do it?
I'll read this one.
Okay.
2018 rotated die Lincoln Cent from Kelly Nash. Hi, everyone. I just found this 2018 Lincoln Cent while coin roll hunting. It appears to have a 135-degree rotation or close to it. I know my pictures aren't great, but I hope they are good enough to show the rotation.
Man, who would have thought 2018? And
Wow.
I should probably check these more often because I never do check the rotation.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, Shay. There's actually a bunch of I'm saying a bunch like there's a ton of them. Not really. 2018 Lincoln. I was aware about this one, and I think 2020, but also there was someone that discovered, I believe it was 2021 nickels that had like a 90-degree rotation, and he found a whole bunch of them in a roll from the bank.
Wow.
So there are a few to look out for on very new coins, might I add. I mean, this thing is really cool.
Yeah, and this is not common with the die setup now, the way they do it. It's not.
They do it like this, right? Not like this.
and there's slots that the dies fit in, and so it takes a lot for something like this to. I mean, this die was really loose or something in there, so or the little teeth that are on that hold the die in place wore off. That happens. That's typically what happens when you get these die rotations. Is those little, I forget what they're called, but there's a name for them. That fit the die fit into to hold them in the right rotation and in place. They actually wear off, and so the die can rotate when that happens. But I used to know what the name was. But I'll tell you guys, if you go to our website, livecoinqa.com, there's a tab up there that you can, a menu that you can pull down, and it has informational sites. Chris Rhodes, one of our panel members, Christopher Rhodes, has a blog spot, Adventures in Coin Roll Hunting. And on there, if you type in the search bar, die rotation, he has a great blog article, and it shows you how to label flips, how to gauge the rotation, everything on there. So if one of you guys can put that link to his blog up too, that would be awesome. It's great. It's really hard for us when you send us pictures to gauge rotation. Every once in a while, we'll get someone who will send us a picture of the coin in a mirror, like taking the picture with the coin, holding the coin up to the mirror, and so it gets the obverse and then the reverse in the mirror or whatever. And that's great. But if we could get people to label their flips like Chris Rhodes has them, that helps a lot. So, and it also, if you learn how to gauge these things yourselves, then, he's got a great article, a great blog on there about it. So I've been trying to pass that one along to people. But he's got great stuff on that blog anyway. You guys should all go read it.
Yeah, I think a lot of folks are sleeping on the fact that you should probably rotate your coins if you're a roll hunter. And if you think it's a wasted kind of practice to integrate into your coin roll hunting, you should go on eBay sometime and take a look at completed listings of rotated die errors, especially from the more modern generation of coins from the last 5-10 years. It's going to surprise the heck out of you. It's going to beat any sort of silver that you find in your $50 box or anything like that. So again, not enough people are actually doing this, and I heavily promote it, even if it does take a little bit more time.
Nice.
Sometimes I just forget. I forget to do it.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to forget because you know, for the longest time we weren't conditioned to look for such errors. Wanda, yeah, staple placement on a cardboard 2x2 helps also. I know Kelly's picture is kind of small on here, but yeah, placing the staples and doing little black Sharpie lines also works as well too.
Yeah, and we actually had one person who sent in an email, and all I asked them to do was write on the reverse which side where the head was. Because I couldn't tell from their pictures. So I said, can you just mark on the reverse side of the flip where the head is? Because I can figure that out by that, but
Crispy. There you go.
Yep.
Oops. I'm trying it. How do you? There we go. Like, how does this thing work on here?
Well, they can be bad if you don't cinch down your staple backs.
Yeah, staples are
Yeah,
bad.
and then you accidentally grab the staple that pokes right through your finger and bleed all over your coin.
We don't talk about staples.
Scratch it across your.
We don't talk about staples.
Artificially toned red coin will come back in a body bag.
All right, whatever.
Another thing that people don't think to check, and I have a habit of doing that myself, but I've found some really nice errors, is weight. Checking your weights on your coins too.
Yeah, good call out.
That's how you find foreign planchets. That's how you find tapered planchets. That's how you find rolled thin planchets or thick planchets.
But Adam, do you just kind of judge it by the fact that you go through a ton of the same coin and it's like, oh, this one's off?
Yeah, sometimes like you can weigh the whole roll, and then you could kind of do it that way. But when I first started, I would weigh each one. I swear, I know it sounds crazy, but I did that, and I found a couple that were designated as off-weight coins. So, I mean, but it has to be out of that threshold or whatever.
Right.
Well, know your tolerances before everybody sends this email with it, 0.01 gram off.
Well, that's actually a very invaluable thing to do, especially when when you search through, like, say, 1950s Lincoln wheat cents. There were coins that were struck on, like, for instance, like a Cuban planchet or a planchet intended for a different world.
We have an email right now in the inbox of one of our viewers that had found one and sent it off and got it verified.
Sweet.
Wow, very nice. Awesome.
Yeah. So we'll probably show that next week.
So
some of them can go for big bucks too. So that's why I'm saying it. It's kind of like the rotated reverses. It's something that is commonly missed or forgotten about.
Yeah, if you do a couple of Google searches, you'll come up with it. There is a document floating around of all the coins the U.S. minted of foreign coins and all the years, denominations, and what they did. And so I use that as a reference whenever somebody sends me an off-weight coin. So I'm checking all the same years, with the different alloys, same, any country that we produced coins for with the same alloy for this, and sometimes you get a match. So
a lot of the wheat cents in the 40s and 50s really need to be looked at because they were minting, especially during the war era. They were minting a lot of coins for other countries and stuff.
I have that document. Ugh.
See, that kind of makes sense too. I mean, if
Thanks to Amanda,
it could be out there,
but it's several pages long.
Okay, I think that's the one I look at, Paula.
Yeah,
where did you get? Is that online? That's online, correct?
I got it from Amanda.
I found mine online, but it took a little searching.
Actually, I think Amanda. Oh no, it says Liberty Coin Service.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, I was going to show them something real quick too. Just a quick little tip. This is a Professor PV tip, so pay attention. Most of you probably already know. If you ever want to get one of these out, okay, don't try to pull it apart. That could be very bad, especially on V nickels.
Got my PV pointer
Take
right
a
here.
toothpick and run it just along the outside on the cello there. And it'll pop. You can pop it right out. And you won't damage it. Don't try to pull it apart because these staples are toxic, brah.
And generally, you don't want to put like high dollar stuff in a cardboard 2x2, anyways. So
Just use a scalpel to do it, okay? And then just
I try to get either side of my nose pliers on the outside.
well, it's funny, Adam. You said that Shay cringed quite a bit, but I'm like, a scalpel is surgical precision.
Yeah.
I see people do it all the time. They use a pocket knife and they keep these mint sets open. I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing? Use something at least. Don't use a, that you're just going to cut right through the coin. It's like,
well, that makes for a kind of like an interesting argument. What do you guys think of coin tongs? Because I've seen people use them. I think they're neat. But I've also seen people use them, and the little rubber ends are like falling apart, and they're still using them.
I mean, it's safer
That's
than
my
using
daughter in
pliers
chat.
or
A and B
needles.
McGee, guys, is my daughter, so she's a little goofy.
The ones with glue scare me because I worry that they're going to change the color on the coin.
You want to know what the best coin tong is?
The one you don't use.
Your fingers with one of these on.
Yeah.
It's the best coin tong.
Yeah, especially after cutting the grass, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I cringe when I see people sitting those tongs in, even with the rubber tips. No. But people will take the stamp collecting tongs. No. Don't do it.
Oh, the ones that are all metal? Yeah.
With the teeth?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And if you don't like putting the whole glove on, you can just cut the little fingers off and put them on your fingers and just.
They actually make those too. Those little bit.
I know. I do. That's what I use. I do. I cut the fingers off. So.
And don't go change your oil with your gloves on and then come in and play with your coins, okay?
No, don't use gloves with any
fried
powder.
chicken.
See, they work great.
Fried chicken and coin roll hunting, they just don't go together.
A little
They
finger.
work great. Come here, Shay.
Or how about a little meatball sub action?
Yeah. Juices squirting everywhere.
Come here, Shay.
Oh.
All right.
All right.
We are a funny chat tonight. I think with a 2-week layover, yeah, you guys deserve it.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, you deserve it.
That's right. There she is. My other self.
I am pretty funny. Yeah. Hey, there you go. There's your mirror.
Tongs. Yeah.
He's a fun guy.
Fungus among us.
Fun guy. All right, whatever. Okay, back to the. So there. Oh, yeah. See there. That's on in a mirror. So perfect. Arrows and everything. Woohoo!
Well done.
Well done.
All right, I'll read this one. 2016 Strikethrough error from Erica. Hello, all. Please take a look at these photos and let me know what you think.
Whoa, mama.
Yeah, shooting from both barrels, huh?
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah. It's got something on the back of his head too, a little smaller.
Little bit, yeah. Some goop, mint
What an
goop.
odd shape.
Odd shaped head like mine.
It's probably mint grease that got smeared on the die. Mint goop. Most of the time, it's not just grease. Most of the time, it's grease plus dust plus metal shavings plus whatever else.
Meatball sub residue.
Yeah.
A conglomerate of grease. Yeah.
But I mean, that could be, it can be a number of things. That could be a little piece of cloth, or I don't know. I don't think it's anything really super hard. It doesn't look deep enough.
But it's really kind of cool having that perpendicular one that goes off and then comes out the other side of the head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very cool. That's structural errors, you guys, but most of you already know that.
So my other self is asking about lamination. How do we tell the difference between necessarily lamination or strike-through?
So you can get laminations on clad coins, or like these, the copper plated zinc. Typically it's because there's some kind of contaminant that comes in between on these, in between the zinc planchet and the copper plating, or the copper plating itself has a contaminant in it. But this doesn't. So with laminations, they typically look like a peeling cuticle. That's how Ken used to put it. But you can actually see the demarcation there, where the metal kind of flows into that area.
Right.
Usually grease kind of gives it that kind of interesting look too when it.
Yeah, and grease
different.
typically won't affect the rim. It can, but it typically restricts itself to the field of the coin, because the proto rim that's on there from the upsetting mill will usually hold that stuff in, hold it onto the field of the coin.
You're probably going to have more laminations though with like your
alloys,
not your copper zinc, but your copper, like the word, like
the alloys.
Yeah, like because they had that tin and all that from the
that little bit of tin and zinc really wreaked havoc with the overall mix of the alloy, and you do see a lot of laminations and woodies and things as a result. Now on a zinken, I guess when you have a lamination, you'll actually see the zinc core, whereas on this one you don't see that.
Yeah, I guess that's what I was kind of trying to get at.
Yeah, so that brings up a good question that a lot of people ask, which is what's the difference in somebody saying copper versus bronze? And it's that tin that's included to make that alloy that makes it bronze, which is the older.
Bronze or brass.
Bronze or brass, right?
Yeah.
Because it's an alloy. But a lot of people ask that question, and some people use it interchangeably. And I mean, it's not really, but even if you look at like a bronze or a brass cent from older, makeup of it, they still refer to it as copper because the majority of it is copper.
Yeah.
So yeah. In short, that's how it's referred to. Is you could refer to any copper era of coin as copper, and then if you wanted to get super technical, then you could break down certain eras as bronze or brass. But when you get into like copper nickel clad coins, they use 100% copper. Like on the nickels, it's what 75-25 is what the mix is.
Mm-hmm.
On
the Lincoln, since it was halfway I think 62, halfway between, in that year is when they took the tin out, stopped putting the tin in.
Yeah.
So,
And then you can't ever forget 2009 in
yes,
celebration of 100 years. They put out
original
a mint set that had the
Yeah.
and proof.
name. Yeah.
Yeah. The original.
And was it 1944 to 1947? They had the
Shell
Brass
casing, right?
shell casings from the war.
Mhm.
I thought they actually debunked that they actually used it.
There's some controversy about that, about whether they actually used them or not. So I don't know that it's ever
Oh
been.
no, I know Chuck was talking about it. That's where I heard it from.
I think it's about the same weight, right? I was asking. I think bronze or just a copper.
No, the weight's the same.
3.1 or
It's the same.
3.11. Yep.
Mhm,
That's pretty close.
2.11, yeah.
I also asked the question: do we know how coin collecting got started in the U.S.?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Well,
Collecting has been
it's
around.
an ancient hobby, a king's hobby. It's been around way longer than the U.S.
Yeah.
So it was just adapted by us because we wanted to be kings, but
The hobby of kings.
old Washington wouldn't have it.
No, there's a lot of jacks and there are kings.
Right? Or jokers. There's a lot of jokers, too.
Yeah.
Some kings are queens now.
Who can be wild? Ha ha ha.
But I mean, we could just walk down the street and find
our copper-plated zincs.
a handful of change to look through. So, accessibility.
Is it bad that I got mad last night whenever I went to Walmart and I paid with cash? It was like, I don't know, $17 or $17.28 or something. And I'm thinking, oh, good, I get some change back. And she hands me 3 ones and says, we rounded it up so you don't have to have any change. I'm like, that may sound great, I get the money back, but my gosh, would it be bad of me to go, give me my dang change?
I get mad about that too. That happens. That's happened to me a couple times. I'm like, no, I want to change.
It's like, I didn't come through your line. I've got a credit card. I could have just gone in the other line if I didn't want change.
That's Matthew saying. Yeah, send me that. I think I've read that article, Matthew. I think there's some debate on that. I mean, but when you think about it, lamination peel, it makes sense that it could happen on the copper plated zincs just because the copper plating is an alloy. And you can get a lamination peel on any, so anyway. And I've seen them, so I don't know how they can say they don't exist. But maybe they call them something different. Plating loss, plating peel. I don't know. Is it technically a lamination? I don't know. I'd like to read that though. I like Pete Apple. He's a smart cookie.
Yeah, he is.
I'd like to see what he wrote on that. Because I know Mike Diamond has written about it too. And but yeah, send that to me if you could, Matthew. I'd like to read that. We probably all would.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. I'm ready to move on.
The link's not working. What's not working? Oh, Matthew must be trying to post a link.
All right. I'll read this one from BJ Chevront. I think I got that wrong. 2017 P Lincoln Cent with die crack. Hello again. I was coin roll hunting and found this 2017 P with a die crack, and I think this might also be a buy. Can you help with this coin? Thank you for all your help.
Bye. Thanks, Michael. Click that like button, everybody. Thank you, Michael. Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah, this one's listed too. I think there's actually a couple of these that are listed. These are not. I mean, they're calling this a buy, but really it's just a die crack, in my opinion. It just happens to be through the Liberty, but what do I know?
So where is that one listed at?
It's on Cuds on Coins under BIE errors. It's at the very bottom and where it has multiple. It says multiple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're not. Have they gone back to? Because they're not listing anything that's not like super. I don't know, super huge or something right now. They weren't.
No.
I don't know.
But that's pretty.
I think it's
a die crack with foreign chips.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but really, BIEs are just little die chips or die breaks in that area that have been given a fancy schmancy name and a book written on them.
Would this particular one be an ILIIIBIEIEC?
It's the ILIIIBIEIERIT.
We'll just call it the Roman numeral Liberty. IVRIIXI.
The fact that it's
so what they're all talking about, in case you didn't know, is that you know a lot of there is a site that goes through and meticulously categorizes the location, and you can have below the bottom of the letters, above the tops of the letters. You can have between each of the letters, and they each have their little designation, and so.
You think that's a DDO, Frank? Frank thinks it's a minor DDO.
I was looking at that R.
I know, but that 2017 is a weird.
It is, yeah. Even the normal ones look a little bit.
It's a weird, year. But it could be. I mean, Frank knows those.
Yeah, look at that. Look at the I in Liberty, though.
And Matthew's there too. I mean,
in the bottom of E.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's thicker on that Y.
And I'm agreeing with that assessment.
Yeah, it's thicker on that Y, but it seems like those 2000. Yeah, could be the that's my cat. She finally came down off her cat tree. She came to say hi to everybody.
Great timing.
But yeah, 2017. Those are. You think so too, Matthew? That do you agree that it's a weird? I don't know. It just all of the devices are just weird, wonky on those. I think. See, Glenda, she did. I was like, yep. Anyway.
It's pretty cool.
But it's a cool die crack, and it's in a cool place. And we think Sean's talked about that before, that a lot of these that end up being desirable, die cracks, die breaks, die chips, it's all about where they're located and whether you can give it a cool, fun name or eye appeal. It's all about eye appeal. Right.
I think the LIIIBI.
Yeah.
It's a good name.
It's like like when they hook the things up to you that monitor your heart, when you're in the hospital, and it's like the line that goes through it.
The EKG.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, with the little nubs.
Yeah.
That person's not healthy. Charge. Anyway.
EKG line.
Right?
Or is it clear? Clear.
Okay.
Nice. Okay.
We're getting goofy. Okay, don't everybody jump.
Okay, I'll do this one.
Okay.
Lincoln sent capped die strike from Shantanu Singh. I hope I said that right.
You didn't. Want to try it again?
No.
You said that. That's how I would have said it.
Shantanu Singh. Hi all, I need help attributing this coin error or vice job. My research suggests that it is a die cap strike. Thank you for the content.
You're welcome.
And I think this is this the one that you picked out, Paula?
It might be. Yeah.
Yes.
It is. It is. That
Wow.
is a late stage. What the heck?
That is awesome. I don't care. It has all that carbon spotting on there. I think that's cool. I love coins that are struck through cap dies.
Oh heck yeah!
Yeah.
Do we know anything about the history of this one? Was it
I mean,
circulated?
it looks like it's been circulated a little bit, or just stored really, really bad.
There's enough. It's an 82 large date, right? Am I seeing that?
Yeah,
It
correctly?
looks like it. Yeah.
that's what it looks like. Yeah.
Ooh, there's a bag of 82 Lincoln cents for sale on
Oh.
eBay right now.
On eBay?
Yeah.
No, I thought you were going to say somewhere else. Listen, you still have a bag of 60 Ds or whatever it was. that you
I
got.
know, but the price was so good on this thing. It was like $200.
Yeah, that's actually not that bad.
It was 189 last time I looked. It's probably gone way up by now. But
Oh,
yeah,
God.
considering that the 81D was going for, it was crazy. It was already almost $300.
It's my granddaughter. Okay, there you
What
go.
a cutie pie. You just had to throw that in there, huh?
Sorry. My daughter's in the chat. She's like, Mom, I just sent you a picture of it. Can you show it? I'm like, I'm grandma. Really?
Aw,
Sorry. I know.
he's a beauty.
She is. She is. She's my little bald angel. She's getting some fuzz, though. Paula and crew, thanks for having me out, y'all.
Thanks,
Have a
EC.
great rest. Oh, awesome. Thanks, EC. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, probably for sure a steal there, Matthew.
Yeah.
Good.
You probably shouldn't have told everybody in the chat, though, because
Oh yeah. On the 82, yeah, Blues is already looking for it.
yeah. So, and however many other
Everybody
people
else.
have in the
Yeah.
show right now. Anyway,
Yeah,
Hey,
if
you
that
know.
bag wasn't over $200, it is now, man.
right?
Just getting that info out there, trying to help folks.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, these 70s, 80s, 90s mid bags are disappearing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Somebody's
Very
using
cool
for a
coin.
doorstop.
We are getting a lot. I am seeing a lot of struck through cap dies.
Yeah, so am I. When I do my PCMR every weekend,
Mhm.
there's a ton of them. Surprisingly, I'm like, wow, these are actually being found.
Yeah.
And you could tell they've circulated too.
Mm-hmm. We're getting at least one a week in the email.
Do you think it's because of the education that people are starting to really understand it more rather than just thinking, oh, it's damage?
Shannon, I hope so.
I hope so too.
I really hope so. I hope it's that and more people coming into the hobby. But yeah.
My other self, what do you think you'll get out of that bag? Well, you can find doubled dies. You can find errors that won't fit into coin rolls, but they certainly will drop into
off-center strikes, broad strikes. Those are the type of coins that you find out of those. But the bag has to be sealed. All right.
Yes.
It's got the little drawstring. You want to make sure that that's still on there.
Yes. And it's sewn.
And if the bag's got stains all over it, you might not want to buy that. There are cloth bags. If they haven't stored properly, it might stink. So just be careful. It also, I have to warn you, it gets repetitious to
Yes,
look
you
the
do.
same year. So
It does, absolutely, especially if their shields are.
And how many comes in a bag? Or how many?
5,000. They're $50 bags. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Send
So
it
basically-
to us, Chris. Absolutely, send us pictures. And you guys, if you have any questions
That's
about
right.
coins, we have one of our mods can put up our email. We also have a video, a short video. If you search our videos on how to submit your coins for questions, I would suggest watching that because it will help you and it'll help us help you. It's a good video. Carl made that for us. So
Yeah, those little bags are good to get from the mint too. Sometimes those will have the errors in them.
there's Shannon. Thank you. Thank
So
you.
James wants to know what's a good price for a Crown die chip Washington.
Go to
And-
eBay sold listings.
Yeah, and I also want to say that I'm so glad that someone found somewhat of one on that Denver sale that they had that you showed Sean the other day on a
Oh yeah,
Denver,
Denver's got one, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one right there that I wasn't aware of. And then when I came across that listing and found out that it was a Denver, I'm like, whoa, that's
I
one to
know.
look for.
And that answers my question, that I asked before, Paula, about I got a box full of those Washington Crossing the Delaware's D's. Should I try to sell the box or just open them all up and see what?
Listen, don't ever ask me a question
know.
like that. You're going to know the answer right off the bat because
know.
I am a coin
Search
roll.
it, search it.
I am a coin roll hunter.
I have to, yeah. Especially, but after I saw that, I'm thinking, well, what if I had a whole box full of them? I mean, my gosh.
I don't know. I pressured Shay a couple of years ago. I think it was. He was, and I can't even remember what it was, or he was doing an auction or something, and he had a roll of something, and I pressured him into opening it. Don't ask me.
What you could do, Shannon, if you have a box, pick every fourth roll or every two rolls, pull them out, search them. If you don't find anything, then you can keep the others for, I'm just as a suggestion, at least look at a good sample.
I couldn't do that.
Shannon, those rolls, if you sold the rolls singularly as opposed to a whole group, they will sell for about $20 a roll.
Yeah.
And then you throw in like $2-3 for shipping, and you could probably profit $7 per roll after fees. So
I don't make any money in this hobby.
yeah, right. Yeah, there's no money to make.
But what
I
if,
don't make any.
like I say, what if I had a whole bunch? Yeah, so I could search half of them, and if I don't find anything, I could sell the other.
Yeah, that's
Well, you
what I'm
probably
saying,
don't even need to go through half of it, Shannon, because you're probably looking at a batch of coins that was produced off of maybe 2 or 3 dies,
Right.
die sets. So, you'll probably end up just wanting to go through maybe 5 rolls, and that's to give you just the right amount of sample size to know what's in there. Because obviously you'll see a die crack in the same place of every single one, then you'll know that that all came from the same die.
Like those I went through boxes and boxes of quarters last year, and when I found, I'd open one roll and find the strike through on the bat. The whole box was just covered in strike throughs on bats, just little tiny stuff, or the
Bye,
same.
Michael. Thanks
or
for
the same,
coming.
So
Sorry.
you really just a sampling will do it.
Thanks for coming, Michael.
Thanks, Michael.
I still look through every one of them.
I know.
Because what if?
What if?
What if?
Exactly. That we're coin roll hunters, right? That's
I want one of those Washington Crossing the Delawares with like a 90-degree rotated die error or more. I think that would just look spectacular.
That would be cool. That would be cool. You think got to roll the 2020 demo.
Well-
So, hey, speaking of that, did anybody in chat get any of the quarters, the Maya Angelou quarters from the mint today?
Do you want to tell them what was being offered?
So they had 100 coin bags of the Philadelphia, the Maya Angelou 2022s, the Philadelphia 100 coin bags of the Denver. They had P and D rolls of the P and D rolls, and then they had a P, D, and S rolls, one of each, one P, one D, one S. And the P and the P, D, and S were gone in seconds. I think it took 2 minutes. So you can't get any San Franciscos. I mean, you could buy all 5 of them in the proof set.
Right.
You can't get any of the circulated, not circulated, the NIFC business strike S-Mint 2022 quarters right now. Yeah, the filling mint.
And by the way, everyone, you are not imagining things. Everything from the U.S. Mint has gone up in price.
A lot.
Maybe you have observed that at one point or another, but yeah, there.
You got the rolls 3 of 3 roll set. Nice. Good for you. You know, I actually thought about doing the enrollment, but I would have had I had any clue. I had no clue they were going to go like they are. Especially with a lot of the talk I am hearing is that people hate the new obverse design. I love it. I'm a fan. I think there's a lot of history to it, and I think it being that a female, designed it and everything originally, it fits right along with the series. But
yeah, it was intentional that they used her old plasters for this coin. To keep with the American women theme. It was only fitting, and I think it looks great. It looks the design pops off the coin like it's like a high relief or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but I mean, since 1932, we've seen the Washington facing the other way, and it's just something new. But I like it. I think it was high time for us to have something new like that. So. And it's kind of high relief. I like it. I just like it. I like it.
You guys ready to move on? We've got
sorry. I know. Okay.
Whoops. Go back one.
We're trying to fast track through it now.
Yeah.
All right. 1998 wide AM Lincoln Cent from BJ Chevront again. Hello again. I just wanted to share this 1998P with what I think is a wide AM. Thank you for your help.
Go ahead, Sean.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, whoever's doing it. Okay. I'm not going to touch it. Yes, it is a wide AM.
Call the Bambi Lance.
It is.
And the coin is in rather decent shape.
Those are 2 of the main diagnostics.
We didn't get states up there, huh?
Uh-huh. The FG being close to the building, so wide is close is far. About the same distance between the A and M and E at the bottom. And then I don't know if we have a picture of states, but on states, the A will be closer to the second T at the bottom. On the close AM, on the wide AM, it's centered between the 2 T's. Very cool. It is nice. It is a nice coin, though. It is. Looks like it's got a little bit of split plating up above that E. Maybe that could just be doo-doo. I don't know.
Could be. Yeah.
So
overall, it's not your prototypical change find because of its condition, but these much nicer looking coins still do come out of circulation. You'd be surprised.
And 98 and 2000 are much more common than 99. 99 is
99's a tough one.
A chunk of change.
I have one.
Yeah, good looking coin. All right. This is a good one right here. Who'd like to read this one?
I think Amanda wants to read it. She may have fell asleep. I'll read it. 1976 D bicentennial quarter DDO times 3 from JRaw83. Hello, panel. I've been going through quarter boxes for the last 3 years, between 5 to 7 boxes a week. I think I have found 3 of the FS028 errors. The guy at my LCS thinks the nicest one would grade, I'm having a hard time seeing, would grade between 55 and 60, and the 2 others between 30 and 45. I know how you feel about grading, but do you think any of these would be a good candidate? No, we like grading. We just don't like grading other people's coins on pictures, from pictures.
Yeah.
Now, to find one of these is something. To find 3 of these, yeah, that's really something.
I just finished a bag of 200 and didn't find a single one. So,
you know what the thing is, though? There are so many of these that have been hoarded and not even looked at.
mm-hmm.
I bet you there's more out there, and people are just sitting on.
And you can pick them up pretty cheap. Sometimes people will sell them for an extra $10 for 100, or $20 for 200, which is not a bad premium for the be able to search, especially the payday that comes out of it if you find one.
Yeah, isn't there an FS102?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although not spectacular, it does exist.
Yeah, and there are a couple of DDRs as well.
Yeah, I know, Matthew. Yeah, I mean, because, you see new collectors all the time, and they're constantly posting like, oh my gosh, look at this bicentennial quarter, and I mean, they are hoarded. People think for some reason that they're like really valuable, but they kind of are if they have something like this on them. They can't.
Oh, thank you, Daniel Scott Key. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. What's up, Q&A?
Yeah.
Rock on, dude.
Thank you so much for joining, and appreciate the donation.
Yeah, see what Michael said? Nearly every collection he buys has rolls of bags and of bicentennials. Bicentennial, quarters, halves, SBA dollars, every collection.
How many times have you heard, and I got some gold dollars too?
I know, right?
The real gold ones.
No.
Or the gold statehood quarters, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or the platinum plated ones, and they're like, these are silver. No, they're not.
Yeah, those trick a lot of people.
They do. They're like, how come I can't see any copper on the rim? Because it's faded. Anyway, back to this coin. Hubba.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic variety.
You got splits in the lower left corners of those. Liberty.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good one. Very desirable. By the way, great close-up pictures. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Really
With that being said, and let's see. Is there a coin too?
Yes.
That one looks pretty good.
It looks pretty good, huh?
Ooh.
Even close up, it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
that one's probably right there in that AU 55 to mid-state 60 range. That one's not too bad also. Not as, I don't think as crisp as the other example, but yeah, still pretty nice. Okay, so if it were me, I guess it really depends on what your ultimate goal is. Are you going to resell these? Are you going to keep them? You know, there's a lot of intangibles at work here. The first coin, I would say just sell it as it is because it does have that stain on the offers. All right, that's probably one I wouldn't set that to get graded at all. The other two, I could live with grading those if you need to. But all three of these coins, you could sell it as is with these close-ups without grading them at all. And you would save yourself the money for attributions and submissions and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my opinion on it.
There are a lot of variety collectors that like their coins raw, you know?
Yeah, it might as well pass on that expense to someone else. That if they want to do that, they'll do that on their own. But this is such a great variety that it will certainly sell for what the market is for that variety. So, you know, you're going to have no trouble selling these.
One of the problems I have with some of my slab double dies and stuff, even especially my 55, is that I can't focus real good on it under a microscope or even with a loupe. I can't, you know, that plastic really interferes with it, and a lot of times I want to be able to put something under the microscope and just admire it. And you can't really do that when they're slabbed. It makes it difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the camera lens will focus on the surface of the slab first, and anything that's beyond that is going to be a little out of focus. I know with me, when I photograph slabs, I have some of those issues that come up.
Yeah, and sometimes I want to get real close and look at markers, and I can't do that. I especially can't do that in the slabs. So, yeah.
Beautiful coins, by the way.
Oh, these are amazing. We've had a few of these, huh? That's incredible.
Yeah, we have.
Incredible.
Yeah, we've done more. I think a couple of these at least.
Yeah, this is great.
And I never get tired of seeing them too.
Never.
I wish I could find one
Our
or two.
viewers might. Our viewers might start saying, "Are they showing the same coin every thing over and over?" No, trust me.
There's plenty of them to go around.
Thanks for being here with us tonight, you guys, everybody. If we haven't said it already, we appreciate you very much for hanging out with us on your Monday night.
Absolutely.
I would say we're a little bit halfway done.
It's a long show tonight, you guys. Sorry, we had 2 weeks. We've really, our email's been nuts with good stuff.
Not only that, there was a lot of good quality stuff that people have been sending in.
Yeah. Well, we have stuff that already, I mean, next week's going to be full too. So.
And what's cool is there's a lot of new folks emailing us also that are flexible in learning more, and that's important. We don't want folks to come in just looking for the quick, easy buck, because we don't operate in that fashion.
No. We're definitely not the show or the place to be if that's all you care about, because
all right, I'll read this one here. We were just talking about these coins. 2021 crossing the Delaware quarter from an anonymous donor that will remain nameless. I think I may have a new grease strike through here. I'm unsure what to do. I would like to see what the strike through looks like without damaging the coin. If I were to sell it raw, do you think there would be any interest in it?
Oh my God. Can I talk about this one? Because it's
Go for it, because my heart just sunk a few decibels.
so I actually picked this email up, and there's a little story behind this one. I knew what it was, and I like to post things every once in a while in our chat, especially for Shannon, because he's learning errors and stuff, and a lot of the some of the guys haven't studied errors much, and that's really what I kind of dug into. And so anyway, I knew what it was, so I posted it in there. And when we after we had our discussion, I said, so this is a retained struck through grease. That's actually retained mint grease.
That's what it looks like.
And believe it or not, as ugly as these are, it's valuable to have the actual mint goop still stuck to the coin.
So all that black stuff. That's
Yeah, all that black stuff, and especially down if you look at the very bottom around 7 to 8 o'clock there's actual little metal flecks in that are still retained in that. So I in the meantime, as I'm discussing it with the guys, we got another email, and I thought it was a different coin with the same strike through, right? Oh yeah, see, this is another one, that didn't retain the grease or whatever. Well,
I think you have to go forward another one.
I didn't get a hold of this guy fast enough because he made a little boo-boo. Yeah, Michael Kittle probably knows exactly what's coming up. And this is the reason why we didn't put the person's name and stuff. He didn't know any better. And but this is well, I mean, it's pretty amazing. You can see all the metal shavings, and so when you guys see like struck through dropped letters and things like that, that's why it's not just grease, why it's so hard and actually like strikes into the coin like it does, because that's all really solid. So go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yep.
Yeah, there should be more emails, more pictures.
The
There you go. So the second one was actually the same coin after a little Dawn dish soap and water.
Oh, God. I'm
He
sorry.
actually cleaned the coin
No.
and removed all that wonderful, marvelous, fantastic, ugly, but goop. We showed the original. We can go back and show it again, Matthew, if you missed it. So that's what it originally looked like. And people, believe it or not, pay a hefty premium for these when they have the grease and goop retained on the coin. So not only did he wash off that mint goop, but he also cleaned the coin. So now it's a cleaned coin.
And now you
And
can see all
clean the value off.
Oh, what was that?
I got the whammy.
No whammy.
That's the Price is Right losing horn.
That's funny. It scared me though. I thought somebody had a train going by their house.
All right, one more for the road here.
So when we harp on that, and you hear, seasoned collectors and stuff, especially the Facebook groups are horrible for this. If you want an argument, go into one of the Facebook groups and tell somebody not to clean their coins. This is a prime example of washing, when Ken always said the first thing you wash off a coin when you clean it is any numismatic value. That's exactly what this person did. Washed off, not all of it. I mean, it's still a struck through grease error, but it's a cleaned coin with a struck through grease error. And it doesn't have the mint goop. It's not mint flavored, no. So there was quite a bit of numismatic value washed off of this.
But most people, when they see that coin, the first picture, they think, "Oh my God, this thing's a mess," and toss it back. So you're more likely to find one in circulation.
A lot of times, and most of the time, that's what it is. It's caca-doo-doo.
But it just takes, now that you guys have seen it, you know what to look for. So you can notice all the devices, the way they look, after having been struck through that mess.
And there's typically other areas of the coin that don't have the goop on it, that have the regular struck through grease look.
Yeah. So, and now you know not to remove it either. So get the word out.
Yeah.
82 people watching that now know better. So that's good.
And he actually took it really well when we broke the news. I mean, we had a really nice conversation with him and everything. And he kind of knew that he wasn't supposed to do it, but he said he just had to see what was underneath all the goop. So curiosity got the best of him. But so he took it very well. And I think he just plans on keeping it for his collection anyway, which is great. So
yeah.
I mean, it is a cool coin.
It's a really cool.
Put it on the wall.
It looks like he's fading into the fog or something. I mean, kind of.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting an analogy to it. It's the strongest such example I've seen on this particular date. So.
Yeah. I see every once in a while, I see those with retained grease, but most of the time it's on Lincoln Sons. So look at Shay with his back scratcher going there.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what it is.
He's itchy.
These are just great.
Hey, Shay, was your leg wagging too?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
My chair is turning. Yeah.
So there's more close-up views. I mean, it's a great strike through for sure.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah.
The word one is completely gone.
And then Jeff sent us his. He had a couple examples with the retained grease. You can see up by Unum there. There's some grease on there. Right there, and you can actually see the little metal flecks and stuff and goop.
Yeah, when we say struck through grease, with grease and debris and all sorts of stuff, that's exactly what you have there.
Mm-hmm.
So, just a question, clarify. On a coin like this, does that really bring much value if you were to...
You'd be surprised.
Really?
To error collectors, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
I run into these all the time, and I just kind of put them back in the roll and move on. So
yeah.
Time to revisit the rolls.
So,
yeah, right.
Those, you might have been around somebody who's used something called a water pipe before and smoked some of that green stuff. Some people would put coins on top of that to carve it out.
Mm-hmm.
And so you find some coins with a big tar ball with usually a lot of hair and other things in it that are really disgusting. So, but look for those metal flakes because that would.
Yeah, and the other areas like this one especially, you can see kind of the streaking that's going on there.
Now, I wanted to ask a question on this because when I see that streaking, you know what I think of? I think of the wheel mark.
Wheel mark, yeah. And that's possible.
That too.
And that's possible that that could be that. That probably on this coin, especially, that probably is exactly what that is. That probably is a wheel mark.
And they consider that
Damage.
Most grading companies consider that damage.
Yeah, you'll get a he would get a details grade on that for sure. Yeah, I agree that's but on that other coin,
No, not on that Washington. No.
yeah, you could see other areas that had. But yeah, so the streaking there, you guys, he made a good point on that. They call that the wheel mark, and that happens at the mint, but it's not mint error. And a lot of times people see that on slabs wheel mark, and they think it's the one that goes around the coin, like the ring of death, but it's not.
Like a roller mark.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
My other stuff.
Isn't this like when it gets stuck in the counting, like counting them or whatever, it gets stuck?
Or one of the mint has a lot of those devices there that push coins along and move coins along and put them through things, you know. So
hey, Bill 457 has a good question. I'd probably put it in acrylic.
What?
He said, how would you store a coin with grease?
Yeah, because you don't want it to smear and stuff.
You get like an acrylic holder for it, so it doesn't.
Yeah.
So you're not moving it in and out of a flip. And
even on the cardboard flips, it's going to stick to the cello there.
Yeah.
And when you take it out, especially if it's stored anywhere hot or anything, it's going to stick to that. And yeah, so.
Yeah, there can be all sorts of disgusting stuff on coins. That's why I use gloves, my other stuff.
But sometimes the rim will protect it from being smeared or whatever.
I'm curious, my other self. Are you finding these in BU rolls, or are you finding them in like regular circulated rolls?
Well, you're not going to find PVC on uncirculated.
No, not usually. Yeah. But if that's how she's describing it, just to describe it, that might be something else. I don't know.
Sometimes there's wax on those too. Little flecks of wax and stuff on those.
Yeah.
Always stainless rolls.
If you find it in a here's the deal. If you find it in a brand new roll where every coin is the same year mint mark and it looks like it's fresh from the mint, then yeah, hold on to that. If you find it in a roll that's 50 different dates and mint marks, just take a look at it carefully.
But those struck through retain grease. It's a struck through. So you're going to have, you're going to have missing design. Sorry, Adam. You're going to have missing design elements. So if you get in close, you'll notice that will look underneath that. If you, like you saw, that guy removed it and it looked just like a struck through grease error.
But there was plenty there that you could see was that the design was sort of decimated already from the grease.
Right. But I imagine, when Loomis rolls coins and stuff, they probably grease their equipment too. Somewhere along the line, there's oil and grease in the equipment. So it's not going to be the same thing. Just because you have grease or goop on your coin doesn't make it a struck through, retained. So.
Yeah.
But some of these rolls have wax.
Yes.
On the inside, and that wax can get on those coins too. That's another thing you need to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Which kind of looks like grease a little bit. So you gotta it's so it's kind of
I mean, you would be if you look at enough coins, you're going to find all kinds of organic material on them that isn't a mint error. It's just a booger.
I find lots of little green pieces. I don't know what that is, but
sugar
sounds good.
Kids stick coins up their noses and who knows what. So I don't want to think about it.
Are they trying to do the quarter trick where they're trying to stick it up their nose and pull it out of someone's
Pull it
ear?
out there.
Pull it out there. Okay, anyway, that's pretty gross.
Well, anyways,
But anyways.
2009 Formative Years DDR by BJ. Hello, I found this 09 Lincoln Cent with an extra thumb while coin roll hunting. Because of your shows, I knew what to look for. I can't find the error number for it anywhere. Thank you for all your help. Ta-da!
This one looks like it had a staple on it.
It
Yeah.
had-
Yeah, he's got a few big scratches.
By the way, so just so you guys know, error and variety collectors, error and variety are not interchangeable.
Mhm.
They are two separate things. So when you're talking about a doubled die, that is a variety.
Not an error.
And it's doubled with a D on the end.
Oh, it's not Dubba, like
It's
D.
not
Double die.
Double
Not
die.
double die.
Double die.
That's a nice double die. We get a little anal with those things. Sorry, you guys, but you got to know. You have to know little details. The devil's in the detail.
That is a good article, Matthew. Thanks for posting that.
Double.
So let's get a close up on this one so we can see that thumb. There it is. Look at that.
Oh, I see it there.
That's a big one.
Something about these kind of creep me out though, because have you ever seen a person with an extra thumb in real life?
Well, no, but there is that one Formative Years DDR that has like a long, gangly skeleton finger. That one's kind of weird.
That one is really weird.
This one looks like he's got fire coming out of his hand.
Extra appendages make me weirded out a little, but hey, I still like to collect them. So.
They're
You
so
don't like
funny.
you don't like the polydactyl. Is it polydactyl? Is that what it is? The cat
Yeah.
Polydactyl.
yeah, that have
Or
the
the pterodactyl. I don't know.
pterodactyl, polydactyl. I don't know. They got 6 toes.
This is like the 1960 Denver RPM kind of thing because there are so many of these
Oh, 100.
formative years.
Mhm.
209, I think, or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's a lot.
You can get them between the fingers, along the
Bottom of the
head,
hand, on the
inside, outside. Really minor. This one's pretty good. This is
yeah.
That one's a
This
great
is probably
one.
one of the major ones.
This is an FS variety.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't have my book. Let me look here.
I think it's 6. What did we call it? Is it
I
on
left my
the
cherry
slideshow?
picker's guide in my other pants.
I got mine back there, but I'm too lazy to go get it. I got a big one over there.
This one is.
Shay, you saw my book, right? That I got from Ken Potter?
yeah.
Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
This looks to be 804.
That's my pride and joy.
This is FS 804.
Yep, correct.
DDR number 50.
Very cool.
I ended up answering this one, and that's what I came up with. So, yay, I got it right.
Well done, Grasshopper.
Thank you.
It's like the Harper's Ferry. Yeah, right? I know. You can thank Chris Rhodes for some of those.
It does look like
He
804.
has a few listings of the Harper's Ferry discoveries on there.
That's a fun little coin.
It is.
Oh, hey, the log cabin has another 100 or so on it.
The little
Little bitty
logs, right? Is it the little logs on that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who can see that? Who can see that? Like, I never even looked for them.
It takes too long to look through all the little bumps.
It's the little, which bump is it? Is it the 4th from the top or the What? Oh, forget it.
Well, that's about the only way you can do it is count all the little bumps.
I'm not doing it.
After looking at about 500 of them, you start getting used to it.
You can have them. Matthew, you can have all the shields. Somebody else can have a log
Hey,
cabin.
Paula, I'm with you on the shield DDRs. And
I can't do it.
I just can't.
Nope.
I don't know.
Oh,
There's my overlay.
Yeah,
that's
it's
actually
definitely
pretty good. Yeah, look at
for
that.
sure.
Who did that?
Slightly off, not too much though. That's
He's got
pretty
some-
You
good.
just did that, Shannon?
No, I did that whenever I was looking at it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Look at you go! I knew you were gonna be a good addition. I knew it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, Paula. Yeah. You've proved us wrong. Whatever.
Yeah, well, I had to get one right. I got other.
Thanks, Sean. Jesus.
I got some other ones horribly wrong.
Hey,
Good.
I am usually not
Numismatic.
able to judge a character.
numismatist with computer capabilities turns out to be quite a rarity.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
He's a
that's
gem.
quite a commodity.
Yeah.
He is a gem. And the best thing is he really wants to learn and is working really. I mean, he's doing great.
It's hard work. It is hard work. I mean, you do have to apply yourself in a lot of things. So nobody said it was easy, but it is fun. You know.
Well,
I told you it was
that's why
going to
we
be
do it.
work.
Yeah.
I told you it was going to be work.
Yeah. No, it is work.
Everybody thinks that we just get on here and laugh and chit chat. No, it's a process. It's a lot of work.
No, Cindy, it was not a cry for help.
It's a cry for help.
She's so crazy,
She's so crazy, that girl.
but she's also high too. So
I love Cindy.
I told her we were going to do a random drug test on her. So I told her to make sure that she studies for that.
Oh, good Lord.
You can pass.
That's the tea for you.
Fix your pliants, Cindy.
All right, 1989 Lincoln Center. I just found this unique creature in a bank wrapped roll. I hope you can help me figure out what I just discovered. Thanks, Brett.
I need drug testing. No, I just need drugs.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, this is a great one.
Wow.
No, I don't need drugs, you guys. Can you imagine?
What?
Damn
Looking
it.
at this coin, you almost think you're on drugs.
Right? So let's let everybody in chat guess this one.
And what other show can you go to and see stuff like this? I mean,
Yeah.
nobody-
And this is all just from our viewers.
it's got
I know.
it's got like 3 faces.
Wow.
Look at that. It seems
The Manny Faces, Lincoln.
his head is really
I know. It's pretty
everything's
cool,
kind of
huh?
moved north.
It's pretty cool. We haven't. Let's see. Are we getting any guesses? What happened?
Well, apparently this is our last
Matthew's-
point for the evening.
Matthew said late die cap or die deterioration, but he's thinking the first one.
Well, you're half right.
It
You're
has
partially right.
No, not a vice job.
No, it's not damaged. So this is a struck through shifted die cap. Late stage.
Is that 89?
I mean, you can see there's extra Liberty there up above Liberty. The date right above the date. You can see 1989 right above 1989. The entire die cap shifted. It's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
So what was your technical name?
a struck through shifted die cap.
Thank you. Wow.
And actually, Chris Rhodes and I talked about this a little bit. What was it? I said die cap doubling, I think, something like that. And actually, I talked to Ken Potter about it, and he said they're basically they're the same thing. So,
so it's lost a lot of detail in the center.
And this one would be unique. You probably wouldn't have one just like it, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, my other self was asking about that.
But there could be something with that same die cap that could look a little different, but still
Yeah.
cool. I mean,
Yeah.
They're all a die cap can strike multiple coins, but it is never going to be identical. There's always going to be some change, because they go from when they first get stuck to the die to paper thin sometimes. That's why you see that you can see the design. The early stage, you have nothing. There's nothing on the coin. There's nothing distinguishable on the coin. It almost looks like a uniface strike, where you only have one side struck on the coin. And then as it strikes more and more, that die cap gets thinner and thinner, and the design starts to bleed through. So there's always a progression. Every coin that strikes is at a microscopic level different.
Which makes it, as per your conversation earlier, it makes it an error and not a variety.
Correct.
Because a variety is going to be the same because it's on the die.
The die.
It's going to be the same.
Yeah, I like to say that varieties, you can distinguish varieties, even though there are attribution sites for some errors like CUDs on coins and mad die clashes. The way I think of it, I mean, you can talk to 10 different error and variety collectors, and it's constantly a debate. The way I feel about it personally is that a variety happens during the original creation of the die, whether it's during the hubbing process or the mint mark being placed on the working die. It happens during the initial creation of that specific die. Anything beyond that is not a variety, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Or the date.
You can have varieties and errors on the same coin, too.
You can have varieties and errors on the same coin. Just like you can have doubled dies and machine doubling or die deterioration on the same coin.
Yeah, 69S had a few examples of having both on there. So,
and you can also have multiple types of doubling for varieties. I think those are the magical ones for the variety collectors and the error collectors, when it's a multiple variety or a multiple error, or even a crossover with multiple varieties.
Double denominations, right? Those are amazing. Yeah, for sure, Shay.
So Chris had asked, would it be possible to have a variety on 2 different years of penny, but the same variety? Kind of like, I guess, wide AM?
Yeah.
Or...
Yeah. 2 different years on that? No, because you're going to have 2 different dies.
It depends on the air. It depends on the year. On the reverse, potentially. On a quarter, it would be the obverse, where there's no date or mint mark.
But you're not going to have the same variety. You're not going to have the same double die on a 72 that you have on a 71.
I have some question about that. I think it's plausible that some dies that don't change from year to year are reused, and some of those dies have had varieties.
What dies aren't changed?
Well, I would say potentially like a
quarter, right? Early quarter.
Early quarter. Like, I don't know, 1 or 2 dies. 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 1 or 2 di you know, or I mean, there's potential. I'm saying I don't have one, and I don't have the evidence, but I think I would look.
I would imagine
I can
that
see that.
reusage of dyes was very prominent during the 1800s, and you can even make the argument going into
Yeah.
the early 1900s. You know, if we envisioned a time
1909.
like the 20s, where the Great Depression really did a number on the overall strike of the coins.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was some reusage of
Yeah.
dyes from, say, 1922, as we all know how that one ended up for the Denver Mint. But also, you know, you go along the years, it almost seems like that they've reused the dyes for a couple consecutive years. You know,
Yeah.
you look at a 25S Lincoln cent; those are notorious for having the crappiest reverse strikes.
Yeah.
So, you know, the
I
period
agree.
of time in which a lot of these coins were struck would certainly attribute, you know, to the conversation or the argument or what have you.
Well, and also,
But in 1909, on the obverse, is when they started putting the date on the master dies or the master hubs.
Right.
So,
but what about the reverse? So that's what I'm saying is that the ones that don't have the mint mark or a date.
Yeah, they could just like, oh, we'll just use this one.
The mint
It's
is
still good.
notorious for trying to save
but
money. and
Shay,
reuse.
how are you going to know that that's from a different year? You will never know that that's
You
from
would
a
never
different
know.
year.
You're right.
You
You
would,
wouldn't-
yeah,
you
it would take meticulous research and
Yeah.
just the right pickup points
Yeah.
to find two different ones with the same variety.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the Mint, even going back to the early 20th century, was good at documenting, like, you know, it's something as fine as like shift changes and, you know, who replaced the dies at one point in the process and all that stuff. But it's never foolproof, and that's why it's difficult to backtrack and do all the research, because a lot of those records, I'm sure, were lost. Either that
Right,
or
but-
they're just sealed away forever in the Mint.
But just like 1909, you know, you're not going to, after 1909, you won't find any repunch dates. You know, you don't find any repunch dates because they're part of, and 1960 small over large is not a repunch date. That's a double die.
There have been plenty of instances where, you know, the reverse of the half dime or some other coins have been used from year to year. Valentine has a ton of listings where,
Right, but that's not what I'm talking about.
but still, it's you know, they may not have a variety, but they still use the same reverse across multiple years.
Right.
Now, the original question was about Lincoln cents. So.
Yeah.
So Chris is saying that he has some pairs from 1965 and 66 that he believes, you know, may have the same anomaly on the reverse. So I mean, send them in.
How would you know?
Yeah.
How would you know? The design's the same.
I don't know. It depends on what it is that he's looking at, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if it's the interior die break in Lincoln's skull, that happened across many different dates.
Yeah,
that span two decades, from the 50s and 60s. But you can attribute that to just a weak point on that die that continuously wore out. It didn't matter how often you changed it.
Right. And
So
like,
things like BIEs, you know, same spot on every coin. That's like a weak area on the die that was more prone to, you know, fracturing and cracks and breaks and all that great stuff.
those beehive die chips that are on the Lincoln memorials, most of the time they're on that left-hand side.
In the ILIBIEIEIRI.
EIEIO.
Yeah, EIOs. Yeah.
So just one thing to remember is that just because there's a crack in a similar location doesn't mean they were from the same die.
Exactly.
Just because there was a die break or a die chip in a similar location doesn't mean it was from the same die. It doesn't, so really what you'd have to do is map out all the pickup points and the markers that you see on the coin that could have been on that die, and then come up with a match of 2 different years that have.
And
Exactly.
the reverse of is it like 85 or 86, one of those years that always, that the memorial, there's a crack to the rim, and then sometimes it goes all the way over the base of the memorial to the other side, and that's just a really super vulnerable spot. So, I mean, yeah, absolutely, Craig. Send us some pictures. Chris, I would love to look at them for sure. We all would.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Any questions you guys have, send them to us. Join our Facebook group. Post it in there so other people can see. For sure. And we really monitor our Facebook group close, you guys. We don't allow like any knuckleheads in there being rude or giving bad information or anything like that. We're super protective of our members on our Facebook group and in here. We love all you guys. You're super important to us. So
Yeah, there are anomalies that occur all throughout a specific year of coin. Like a lot of people are finding brand new Lincoln sets with the spiked head die crack right above Lincoln's head.
I got
You're seeing that across a whole bunch of different sets of dies, which proves that that's a weak area on the die that's prone to that kind of damage.
Yeah.
Skull cracks. That's so common.
Mm-hmm.
You get those all the time.
Our favorite, those Roosevelt dimes, where he's got that die chip right here and right here and right across the nose.
In the early
those
lead
little
sense, the
herpes
film
problem.
B, the film 9,
Yeah.
So.
The
Fun
weed stalks
stuff.
on the reverse always usually
Bugs
get
and Elite.
bugs in them.
Nice.
Fun show tonight. It's great coins.
That was a great conversation, by the way. Yeah, we love you guys too. I think you guys are all right.
Absolutely.
Having to tolerate us every week.
If you guys are here and spend time with us and you are here the whole time or whatever, it really means a lot to us because we know that you're here to learn. So, and that's what we love. So.
Yeah, and there's so much to learn. So much to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you can ever stop learning in this hobby because there's just so
Never.
much.
Yeah,
Never.
numismatics is the biggest rabbit hole that you could get yourself involved in. I mean, it really is.
It is. And not only that, sometimes what you learn today in 5 years is going to be different because they find new things out. They find, things that you believe now in 5-10 years, they're going to realize, oh, that wasn't right. It actually happens this way. Or
Yep.
so
Because they changed the arrangement of the equipment or the supplier of the equipment or something changed and or a process changed, and all those things can lead to varieties and errors.
So in 20 years, we may feel like Spadone.
No.
not.
Let's not bring up his name ever again. For sanity's sake, because the pharmaceutical industry is going to love every time Spadone's name comes up.
Oh,
I don't know, but if you're not subscribed to Jeff Stanley's channel, please do and check out his latest videos.
I know.
I'll throw that
What's his
out.
name? Stan Jeffley?
Dan Jeffley. Well, you guys think that I tell it like it is. Go watch Jeff Stanley.
Coins and fast cars.
No.
He just doesn't care. He's like, I don't give a crap. I'm going to call you out. I don't care.
He's refreshingly entertaining.
It
those
takes
of you
a
that
lot. Jeff, when his meter gets full, I mean, there's that cap's coming off. That steam's going. It's coming out.
It's like a pressure cooker filled with just pure protein beef.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Reap what you sow. Learn every time I see you guys. That's great.
And Papa Giorgio said he opened that shotgun roll of nickels. has a theory of where that paper's from.
Oh, you guys keep searching, keep finding it, keep sending us emails. We'll be here keeping the lights on. So
And I have a theory of what year the paper is from. Nice, Papa Giorgio. Go look at Chris Rhodes' blog, Adventures in Coin Roll Hunting. He's got great pictures of different years, the different coin rolls from those different years and everything. So yeah. Anyway, that was fun. I'm ready to go. I have half a pizza still to eat. So
yeah, she's staring at it right now. She's like, yeah, can we cut the stream now? Or
it was really good. Mountain Mike's Pizza. It's brand new here in town. And
I can't wait for some of that Chicago style pizza when I go back to
Are you going to get one of those mac and cheese ones?
Yes, that was amazing.
I want a mac and cheese pizza.
I'm on
hey, Paula, did you pay like $50 for that pizza? Because I know they're notorious for their high prices, but good quality.
It wasn't cheap, but I did have a 15% off coupon. So, and I only got a small.
You guys are killing me.
So we only spent $35 then.
Something like that.
I'm on
I gotta eat. I had to eat.
You know how many little pizzas
so
you could buy with $35? It's a lot.
Listen, when you're used to only having Domino's in town and you get something like Mountain Mike's, you got to have a Mountain Mike's pizza.
Yeah, you got to try it at least once. And then you got to save up for it for the next
Don't tell
If you're in the Midwest, you get Casey's pizza.
Let me guess. Is that good?
From the gas stations?
Yes.
From the gas stations?
It is. They have like donuts and stuff. They got all kinds of things.
Listen, Pilot gas station has Cinnabon. Come on.
What's better than Cinnabon, right?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing is better than Cinnabon because there's no substitute.
So here we have a couple of chains that are really good. We have the Manja that does the Chicago stuffed pizza, and it's just freaking amazing. And then we have Brooklyn Heights, which is like a beer place, a bar, and you can go, and they got slices that you can buy for $5 that are like this big.
Oh my god,
they're awesome! And I can't have any of it.
Dude, Shay, when I was in Dallas a few years ago, I was still infatuated with that place called Hard 8. That's like one of the best barbecue places I've ever been to.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard of that? Oh, you're not usually in that part of town, but
in Dallas, maybe I've been there. Yeah, there's some really good Mexican restaurants and really good barbecue.
Yeah. Well, actually, it was in Plano. So.
Maybe they'll have one in the Dallas airport. I have almost a 4-hour layover there on the way home. So
they won't have that, but they will most assuredly have a Starbucks for you.
Hey, Crispy Mofo knows barbecue. Excuse me, right here. Yeah, that's one of the best here in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm. Brooklyn Heights is on Lakeline, in Leander.
All right, can we be done?
Yeah.
Now that we're talking about food, let's all go eat.
Everybody's gonna go eat now.
Say your good nights, everybody. Good night.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming. I'm gonna go do a number 2 now. See you guys.
All right.
Good night.
Bye.